Okay, welcome everyone. We'll start our lesson 3. Today lesson will go through LO3. As a couple of you know me, my name is Anjum Satar. Please, if you have any question, drop me email anjum@ukversity.co.uk and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. So let's please, today lesson will go through LO2. During our previous lesson, we discussed LO1 and LO2, and today we'll go through our LO3. So let's please. Okay. So we discuss about various information system. We discuss about functional area, and we discuss different in our lesson 1, and lesson 2 was really focused on these applications. And today lesson will go to understand the requirement of effective inventory management. What is meant by inventory? Inventory means stock, the raw material management using information. Most of the important system in any organization is the inventory, because the inventory is really is costing us. So we need to be make sure inventory need to be fit for purpose, or only you buy things when you need it. If you don't need too many things, so please don't buy, because this is the blockage of the cash. So many businesses is failed due to the reason was only because they don't have a cash. Okay, so that's the key. Inventory can be 3 types: raw material, finished goods, and work in progress, which we'll go through in a minute and I'll explain. Key terminology: inventory is the business asset because I have a value of, yes, of course, it's important value, and which you can sell it, make money. It's also include the cost of warehouse, inventory, shipping product to customer. We're running a storage facilities, warehouse, and hiring people to work in the warehouse. That's our cost. So that's why we say EOQ. What is the EOQ? The word EOQ, it's known as economics order quantity. So EOQ, economics order quantity, only buy things what you need it. Or one of the Japanese approach is becoming very important, JIT, just in time. Only buy what you need it just in time. Don't need to store it because your cache is blocked. Okay, so we just want to cache the key. Okay, so what is the importance of inventory control? To protect the company from the fluctuation of the demand, its product is enable the company to provide the better service to its customer, to keep smooth flow of the raw material, add continuous production operation, and check, maintain the right stock and reduce the risk and the losses. Okay, so today we're looking the assessment criteria 3.1. It was evaluate the nature and the importance of inventory, balance balance the advantages and disadvantages of the small and the large inventory. So pressures for the small inventories, inventory holding costs. So yeah, it's less, because the holding costs need to be managed. Because if you have inventory in the warehouse, it costs you cost of the capital, storage and handling cost, taxes, insurance, shrinkage. Yes, sometimes leakage, spillage, that can be also cost. So pressure for the large inventory, the customer service, ordering costs, setup costs, labor, equipment, transportation, and payment. Okay, so reason for holding inventory to meet the anticipated customer demand, because the demand always carry on fluctuate. It can be linked with the seasonality, different season. To protect against the stock outs, to make advantages of the economics order cycle, to maintain independence of operations, to allow for the smooth and flexible production operation, and to guard against the price increase. So that's why is inventory stock. So we'll carry on using different inventory evaluation method as well, which we'll go through in the following. Like, sometime if the goods are perishable, we'd say first in, first out use, and other can be last in, first out. You buy the things, those are durable, and the price what you bought the last, because more normally with the passage of time, the price is increased. Our FCO. FCO is called average cost of inventories we issued, and that's we keep in mind for the planning and the price increase and the fluctuation purposes. Okay, next we're looking at the reason for holding inventories, which we just mentioned. And next we'll look at the types of inventory. The process stage, raw material, work in progress, finished goods inventory. Like if you open a fridge, your raw material, like a meat, is your raw material. If you half cook, boiled it, and that is work in progress, and maybe you're already ready, chicken curries, whatever, mutton, so or any other dish is you just warm it and eat it. That's your finished goods. So demand type, independent and dependent, because dependent with dependent, some demands that depend on number of the purposes, and like if the house building is more houses, maybe the demand of the wood or the sheets or the building material will be higher. If the population is growing, if the income is increasing, so they are the number of factor the house demand it depend on. The purpose, the cycle, safety, seasonal, and the pipeline, and the others can be spare consumable inventories. Okay, so dependent versus independent. Independent of an item of independent for the demand of any other item. Demand, it depends for the item, it depend upon the demand for some other items. So dependent demands, demand for the item in the inventory that are assemblies are the component parts of use production of finished good. Demand of sub-assemblies and the component parts is derived from the number of finished units that will be produced, and independent demand is the demand for the item that are finished item, and these items are sold or at least they shipped out rather than used in the making another product. Okay, independent versus dependent demand. So we can look around demand source, the company, customer, and the parent item and material type, the finished goods, and the work in progress raw material. And we can look around method of estimating demand, forecasting, book customer order and calculate, and we can look around planning method, economics order quantity, we can rate of purchase, and we can look around machine material requisition purchase. Those we can look around these, and we need to be managed. Okay, then the nature and the importance of inventory is very important. The typical manufacturing firm carry different types of inventories, including following raw material, purchase part, partially completed goods, and call work in progress, and finished goods inventories. Manufacturing firms are merchandise and raw material. We can look around the replacement parts and the tools and supplies. So good in transit to warehouse the customer. Okay, so functional function of inventory to meet the anticipated demand. The customer can be the person who walk in and off the street to buy a new stereo system, or mechanic who requests the tools at the tool are manufacturing, and these the inventories are referred to be as anticipations of stock, and because of held to satisfy the planned or the expected demand. To smooth production requirement, the firm is experience seasonal pattern demand, which is built up the inventory during the off the season period to meet hourly highly requirement during the certain seasonal period, like during Christmas and things as well. That can be, and we need to keep more inventory. Okay, guys, to well, operation, the manufacturing firm have used the inventory to buffer the successive operation to maintain the continuity of the production. That's why we always try to be maintain the safety levels as well to protect again the stock out, delayed inventories. We always look around the lead time, the shortage, what risk will be if you don't deliver or produce the thing. To take the advantage of the ordering cycle to minimize the purchasing inventory, a firm buy in quantity that exceed immediate requirement, and inventory storage enable the firm to buy, produce, and economically lot of sizes without having tried the match the purchase or the production with the demand requirement and the short run. This result in the periodic order in the ordering cycle, and the resulting the stock is known as cycle stock. And hedge, hedge is also is like a protection against the foreign currency, because the currency carry on fluctuating. If you're buying in pound, in dollars, because other currencies it can fluctuate, and ultimately we can get the guarantee from the bank, and we can use it to protect it. Okay, so that's the key concept of a hedge, to protection against the foreign currency fluctuations. So normal amount to avoid the increase. Okay, so permit operation to take the certain amount of the time, to mean there is generally the work in progress. Okay, so as we discuss, type of inventories are inventory type and purpose. Inventory stock, there are the accumulated absorbed seasonal fluctuation in a cycle stock due to the fixed transportation handling charges. Setup requirement is economically to order and produce the large at a certain time, and the safety stock there is the built as the hedge, again the uncertainty in the demand, and we can pipeline inventory in transit. Okay, types of inventories. So we can look around. There are the 5 categories type of inventory. Buffer are the safety inventory, cycle inventory, decoupling inventory, anticipating inventory, and pipeline. So each of these, serve the different purposes, and they also link the previous example which we just quoted, and the jobs. Yes, so both, mass continues again the operate. And the buffer stock at the safety level, like you wake up this morning, there is no fridge, no milk in the fridge, you went to the corner shop, you bought it, but you paid 50 pence extra. Why you paid it extra? Because you not look around the safety level, you not maintain it. That's why it's a crucial to maintain it. The service of the simple purposes of the protecting against the anticipating fluctuation of the demand, even in the organization and reasonable forecast accuracy, there must be anticipated variation. For example, particularly high number of customers due to the external circumstances, that therefore the safety stock can be held, to ensure that the organization is able to supply its customer. As a simple example might be suddenly increase in the disposable barbecue set, or the heat waves. Yes, these can cycle. The type of inventory is used, when the single production line is used, the manufacturing and different product, but can be manufacturing only type of the product. And it's effectively inventory techniques which match, the batch production to ensure and necessary raw material components part of the product. Any question, please? Would decoupling, which we can look around, when the organization is able to isolate the component of the part of the manufacturing and some of the circumstances, and each manufacturing process separately but the simultaneously in order to produce the component part to finished goods, is decoupling inventory is used, and this will allow the element of the product line to call and raw material and the parts need to be without having the weight and the element and the process complete. It means, increase the efficiency of the production. Anticipation example of would be the manufacturing product in advance, in order to go the known at the period very high demands, and that's why we just need to be make sure we'll carry on doing. So pipeline, this is used when the inventory is called off in the stage, because insufficient storage space in the point of the sale. So it is particularly popular is a retail environment where it is better to retail store to have their physical location, have our what is referred to the selling space, and rather than using the storage. So it is these circumstances, the retailer environment often plays the daily order twice a day, even yes need to be in the inventory stay in the pipeline. Okay, so project management inventory consideration determine how best the manage the project inventory, because most of your cash blockage in the inventory. Project manager must manage the resources input given the project, and the approach this is increase and reduce the cost. But at the moment, IT system, information system is really help us and track. So project managers constantly input, just generate the output and the standard operational process, and the number of, actually we really look around the inventory, we really look the product value zero, and we really logically quantity based inventory must be answered to create the process flow that will help add the value to the organization and being good product being so. Time is really matters, yes, so you need to be time log if the supply chain is very stage of the supply and requirement uncertainty, we need to be keep in mind. We need to look around economies of scale, you buy what is economically viable for you and look the ideal condition. And since the inventory tends and our stock also is, because with the passage of time inventory is reduced its value, or some inventory maybe increase its value in terms of the sale value, because depend upon the demand and demand. So we need to be make sure we'll cut the cost and we'll increase the efficiency and we'll meet the demands. Okay, so inventory management tool, the technology is dramatically change inventory management process, because we have a IBM system 3090 and various other which link with with the satellite, and we can manage the inventories accordingly. A number of recent technology developments, yes, we have a RFID, which is called radio frequency identity identification documents. Yes, we can look around. The radio frequency identification is the tag used to track the location and variation of the item and the component and automated assemblies line and the boxes and the serial numbers and the manufacturing plants. Yeah, that's how QR code is becoming very popular. Originated logistic, but have becoming the popular in marketing as well. As in 1990, QR code is used to rapid component of scanning and computer data and update the record of inventory. Barcode is like a QR code, yes. So these are used to scan inventories, location, computer data, and update the stock on the system, so we can see through the part numbers and we help so like in a warehouse we normally use inventory management software, is the device listed above required the logistic softwares and capable streamline. I mentioned IBM system 3090 of logistic, which is inventory management system, and that's help to locate the stock. Okay, then we're looking 3.2, analyze the requirement of effective inventory management. Inventory management is referred to the management of the stock and all of the various forms, such as the inventory management is more associated with the manufacturing organization, although the even the survey driven organization typically have some need of tangible product, and only the stationery, the packaging and inventory has the both advantages and disadvantages. So we need to be at the realistic figures that will help. However, holding stock of inventories bring the problems. And for example, raw material, finished goods value, and the cost, we always keep associated costs, opportunity costs, because when your money is stuck in the inventory, like on the boxing day and new year days, you buy a lot of stock and ultimately your cash stuck, so we need to be make sure we buy only what we need it. Okay, that's number of the research is being inventory planning, inventory control, and compensate different timing between the supply of operation product and the service. And generally speaking, the organization must acquire the stock in advance and selling, and always inventory fluctuation linked with the sale forecast. So first thing you need to be considered as inventory management sale forecast. Then we have a 3.3, evaluate the use of ABC approach, which is called activity based inventory criteria. Only if the activity increase, your inventory need to be increased. If activity drop, inventory can be the important control. The annual cost, annual usage, revenue generate, and 20% of the item make up 80% yearly cost and become of A item. Another 30% of the item make up 15%. So we always look around activities and manage So A, B, C, and A item is carefully managed and ordered the frequently, the minimize the investment and less time, and the resources are devoted to B item and very low amount, and we can prioritize, to look around and the item those are high and low values, and ABC inventory control is used, the cycle counting. A items are counted often per month and B items are counted less often. Calendar and C item is counted. So that's, which we need to be look around the inventory stock taking. And the American Production Inventory Control Society classifies the inventory according to the some measure of important allocating control efforts, and there are the classes. A is very important, B the moderate important, C the least important, and the cycle of counting physical count item. Yes, purpose of counting why reduce the discrepancy. The stock is according to the system and the actual it should be equal, and we can look around stock taking and carry on happening. Often economics order quantity model, economics order quantity, the order the size, the minimize the cost, three order model, economics order quantity, economics order model with the non spontaneously deliveries. Yes, that's which will carry on looking, and the quantity discount model we need to look around. So 3.4 we have principle of economics order quantity, the basic economics order quantity, the simplest three model. It is identify the order size, the minimize the sum of annual cost, holding cost, and ordering cost, and only the product is involved. Annual demand of the product requirement. Demand is spread even throughout the year, so we can, and lead time and the delivery time, how long will takes to get the product, and there is a no quantity discount. Okay, so we can look around the annual carrying cost of the product, quantity, how much is the holding cost. We can look around annual ordering cost. If you order once, how many times? If you order many times, it costs you more. Total carrying cost, and this we carry on using formula in accounts. We'll carry on using 2DSH. So total demand, yes, storage cost, ordering cost, yes, and the length of the order cycle, that's which will carry on monitoring. Inventory cost, holding cost, associating inventory carried out, ordering cost associated with the cost of placing order, and setup cost. Okay, the term used in ordering: material cost, the average price paid per purchase. The key cost is lot of decision, fixed ordering cost that stay the fixed. You each, you have to pay a holding cost. How much is the cost of holding per unit? Quantity in the last batch, how much we order, and we can look on the demand per quarter, per year. That's, which we'll carry on using. Okay, so oops. So we can look around holding costs, obsolescence insurance, extra staffing, interest privilege, damages, warehouse, and then ordering costs, supplier forum, forms, ordering processes, sometimes taxes can be varied, which is tariffs and the cleanup costs, the tooling and adjustment. These are inventory cost, holding cost, slants holding, upper occupancy cost, miscellaneous cost. These are very important to monitor to inventory management, and ordering cost by a time of the buyer for the place and extra orders, zero orders. Yes, internet communication reduce the cost, receiving the cost, administrative work such as the purchase order, matching inventories, lot of stuff work on. So transportation costs fix should be include. Short-term costs when occur, the company face two possibility. It can meet the shortage with some type of rush, special handling, priorities, and it can meet here the shortage of all, and depends on how the company handle the problems. Permanent, yes, lot of profit due to the unsatisfied lost profit for the future sales, and temporary back ordered is not necessarily lost, yes, which we carry on doing. Then we have a 3.5, examine the single period model, which how much your order, fixed order in interval, fixed order is the interval model, which is we use the time, and there is a number of difference between two approaches. We can look around reordering, but there's somewhat the different ways in fixed quantity model, higher than the normal demand, the causes of the shorter time between the order, and where is the fixed interval model, and the result is the ordering cost. And other difference is that the fixed quantity model required the close monitoring of inventory level in order to know when the amount of had reached. Yes, thus we need to be look around fixed interval model. Yes, periodically inventories and prior to the placing an order. Okay, reason using the fixed order interval, because under the certain condition, fixed order is interval is very practical, and alternative them to fix interval ordering, which will require the periodic check of inventories. Okay, then determine the amount of order for both demand rate and the lead time and the constant fixed interval. The difference in two model becoming apparently the examine, yes, under the condition and variability, and the fixed quantity management order trigger the quantity with the fixed interval, and therefore fixed interval must be stock out the production lead time, which we need to be managed and look around. Okay, so benefit and the disadvantage. The fixed interval is a result of the tight control need A item ABC classification, and the negative side is the fixed interval is necessitate large amount of safety stock required, and that can be risk if that stock is really like fashion industries, and that can create a problem as well. Okay, then the single period is the model of ordering the perishable and order the item with the limited useful lives. Yes, analysis of the single period situation and generally focus on the two costs, storage costs, and include the charges, loss, goodwill, as well as the opportunity costs, and that's which we can look around excess costs, and then we can look around the original cost per unit versus the salvage value of or the value drop, and which we normally use for accounting purposes is called net realizable value, or at sales, whichever is the lower we record the inventories, and continuous stocking levels, which will need to be the concept of optimum stocking is the perhaps easiest visualize the demand uniform and choose stock levels similar to the bell sync. Yes, so excess cost can be, and so we need to be service levels, then which can be compared with this cost shortage. Cost per unit can be a lot, and the excess per unit can be, so we need a good balance approach to discrete of stocking when the stock levels are discrete rather than continue. The service leads compute ratio C oblique S usually does not concede the feasibility stock levels, and the solution the stock at the next higher levels, and in other words choosing stocking levels at the desired service levels, yes, equal to and exceed. Yes, so technically you just draw the benchmark. So you look around this and very good. Then the operational strategy, you need to be make inventories, and the part of doing business have there is a true link between the demand and the supply and the stock, so reduce the lot of size and reduce the safety stock, and the Japanese approach only buy when you need it. So JIT is becoming very, very popular. So you have a less opportunity cost. And if you have too much money tidy, is a high opportunity cost. Okay, guys. So that's all, then you've been given the relevant source. Please, you can read by clicking these using these link. Anybody, any question before if you have, so thanks for attending today or listening this lesson, and hope, I'll speak you next time and we'll go through LL4. Thank you. Bye-bye.